Hello Virgo, thanks for tuning into my channel. This is a reading for those who have Virgo as their sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. During this reading, I will pull cards to discuss your energy, the energy of someone you deal with, and the character of your relationship. Okay, what are the messages that Virgo needs to hear? The first person is showing up as the King of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Empress, motivated by the Knight of Cups, and Judgment. Person 2 is showing up as the Four of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Six of Cups, motivated by the King of Wands and the High Priestess. And representing your relationship, we have the Hanged Man, the Three of Swords, the Nine of Cups, motivated by the Ace of Pentacles, and the Lovers. 10 of Pentacles on the bottom. I feel like I'm speaking to two people who are married, maybe have built themselves some sort of domestic situation. Person 1 is taking a head over heart approach to bring forth some sort of judgment. With the Empress here, this is somebody who is manifesting some sort of creative project and they have strategically conceptualized. They're putting a lot of energy into making this happen. They're motivated by some romantic notions, maybe about reconciliation. I feel like this person wants a reconciliation or wants to choose romance or is having some sort of romantic ideas about reconciling with somebody. And how they're going about it is in a very strategic manner. Person 2 has her sword raised. It doesn't have to be a woman. It can be anyone who embodies the energy of, being critical, being holding somebody perhaps even accountable. I think that person 2, I do believe these two people are married or in some sort of a union that at one time was incredibly celebrated. They may know each other from childhood or maybe were high school sweethearts, but there's a very sincere and happy rapport here. But she's kind of questioning, like, what are we doing here? Like, what is the point of this? She's motivated because she finds person 1 very attractive, very charismatic, but she's trying to kind of feel her way around why he behaves the way that he does. With the High Priestess here, she may not be talking. Person 2 may not be talking to person 1. I feel like this is a bit of a rift that happened between two married people. And I think that somebody was very brokenhearted. There was a wish that these two people collaborated on, and it ended up in heartbreak. My goodness, Virgo, what happened? Somebody had to really take a time out and reassess, like, what are we doing here? There's a lot of love in this relationship. I think there's a lot of history, for better or for worse. 10 of Pentacles on the bottom tells me that these are two people who built some sort of a home together. Now, these two people, their relationship section of the spread is showing that it's motivated by the Ace of Pentacles and the Lover. So these two people still think of one another as someone that they can grow with, somebody that they can love. I'm not really entirely sure what happened here, Virgo, but I will say that I'm very sorry to see this heartbreak. Let's get some advice. First, I want to know what this heartbreak is, just so that we're clear, just so that we can get a little bit more specific here on the situation. Somebody went in to ask the bigger questions about life, and there was some sort of heartfelt conversation that happened. Somebody wanted a new cycle. Somebody got very confused and disillusioned. I see. Okay. I feel that person 1 went through some sort of I don't want to say midlife crisis, because that's just an oversimplification of something that happens to people. This person began to question whether or not they wanted to be in a marriage or a relationship, something along those lines. They were asking some of the tougher questions. I think they brought it up to person 2, and this caused some sort of a riff. It's almost as if person 1 maybe became, with the 9 of Wands at the bottom, a bit of a wounded warrior, maybe a little injured somehow. Could have to do with work, could have to do with the pressures of life, could have to do with the pressures of building this 10 of Pentacles domestic situation. And they were maybe thinking like, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe it's just been too much. And I think they're coming back with some sort of an apology or like a reconciliation. They're coming back rejuvenated or something. And person 2 is kind of looking at them like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, the last time we talked, you said that you didn't want this anymore. You broke my heart. We had to do some serious self-reflection in order to figure out what we wanted and how to make our dreams come true. Like, why did you put me through this? All right. Advice for whoever is watching. Advice for whoever is watching. The Sun, Strength, Knight of Wands. 8 of Cups on the bottom. Okay. This is a walking away from something that doesn't emotionally serve you. I'm feeling like the cards are saying, if you had this very difficult conversation about closing out a cycle and how it was you felt about it, if this relationship comes back together and you can do a reconciliation, I think it will come back together a lot stronger here with the Strength card, the Sun, the Knight of Wands. But you're going to have to do some making up for it, because the Knight of Wands energy is kind of, it's an in and out energy, but grouped here with the Strength card and the Sun is telling me that I feel like I'm talking to person 1. If you apply strength and effort, you are going to see the results. The Sun card, very happy. I think it may be the case, 8 of Cups, walking away from what emotionally doesn't serve you. I think it is the case, person 1, that you learned a lot from whatever caused this 9 of Wands. Your conversation with your spouse or partner changed the dynamic of the relationship, and it seems like it caused a bit of a hiccup, a separation of some sort. But it looks like what it is you're leaving here with the Ace of Pentacles is whatever caused the 9 of Rods, whatever really stressed you out, but you want to come back to this relationship. And so instead of, throwing the baby out with the bathwater, if I can say that, instead of saying, I don't want to be married anymore, I don't want to build a life anymore, I just want to, go and live in the forest. I feel like you've had some sort of clarity concerning what the thing was. Maybe it's too much work time and not enough playtime. Maybe it's, maybe it's owning your own company. Maybe you would be happier in your relationship if you didn't have that extra burden of owning your own company. Instead, you want to go out consulting. It feels a lot like once you come back and explain the situation, and yes, you are going to have to come back as this King of Swords, head over heart, very analytical, because your partner really wants answers. With the 5 of Swords and the Chariot, it feels a lot like your advice here is to move away from anything that feels overbearing. If you want to have the emotional bandwidth to be able to give to your marriage and this 10 of Pentacles situation, it feels like something that was overbearing has to go. And it's time with the Chariot. Everything is lining up so that you can come out of that. Okay. Wow. Great read, Virgo. That's what I have for you today. If you like this reading, then like, share, and subscribe. Peace and gratitude from me to you. And as always, take care.